welcome back to another show of He Said, She Said. And if this is your first time tuning in, this is your boy Q Walk on the mic. And of course, we got the first lady of the house, Miss Chrissy J. Gonna introduce yourself for the people who ain't heard you before.
Hey everybody, it's Chrissy J, but you can call me Chris, Tina, whatever you like.
Tina, whatever.
Hey, this man is not gonna call me Theodore, so I'ma just chime in right before. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can call me Jay.
Hold on.
Jay, where did it come from?
Where did Jay come
Yeah,
from?
that's new.
That's my first. You right. So y'all can call me Jay. Y'all can call me JT.
Jarvis Theodore.
Jarvis Theodore.
Is it Terrell or Terrell?
Yeah, how do you pronounce Terrell?
Terrell.
See, I knew it was Terrell.
I thought it was Terrell.
Yeah, everybody says Terrell, but I call him Terrell.
You know, he's Korean and black, so I thought that was the black part. So, but anyways, since today is Valentine's Day, we thought it'd be fitting to, you know, have the show catered to Valentine's Day. So for the people who are watching via Facebook live feed, we want you to comment or call in with your best or your worst Valentine's Day story. So let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. Mr. Jarvis,
What it do?
you got a Valentine's Day story over there, sir?
Man, nah, not nothing like real crazy, actually. Nah.
You ain't got nothing? No
Nah,
Valentine?
let me think on it. We can go over to Chrissy J.
Oh, Chrissy J ain't really got nothing to say about Valentine's Day.
Nah, you got something to say.
I know you got a story. Y'all ain't got no story. I can't be the only one up here telling stories.
Listen, any stories before my husband don't matter. I ain't got no stories.
All right, that's fair.
I ain't got no stories.
I hate that.
Hey,
You
Q
got-
Walker.
you got-
So,
what you got?
what kind of stories
Q
you got?
Walker, big and single, y'all.
Big and single.
Big and single.
You
If
feel
anybody
me?
want to
You
know.
feel me?
And he's looking to take someone out tonight
Hey.
to the Holiday Inn.
Four. But nah, I really ain't got no crazy stories. I mean, for the people who have known me the past couple of years, I usually spend Valentine's Day with my kids. So I mean, this year I ain't doing that. I'm doing something different this year, but I ain't telling y'all. But
Oh, you got a date.
So let me think back. Best Valentine's Day
He ain't
I
doing
can
too much because
remember.
he ain't get the haircut.
She ain't way back up there.
No.
But best Valentine's Day really I can remember off the top of my head. This is probably ain't the best one, but just the most one I can recount. This was before I even had any of my kids. I was dating this lady at the time, and I was working for this cleaning service, and we would clean what's that dealership off of Nicholasville Road? Toyota Nicholas. No, Lexus or Toyota. One of them right there. I forgot which one it was. But anyways, I would clean it at night, and I wouldn't get off till like 12, 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock. So on Valentine's Day, what you need? Can you hear? So Valentine's Day, she was like, "Hey, come over after you get off of work." So I'm thinking, you know, okay, it's Valentine's Day. She just won't spend it with me, which is cool. So I got off at 2 o'clock, went over to her crib, got there, and when I got in, baby girl had her front room set up like a picnic. And she had like the roses, she had the candle joints going, and like she had the lights off and everything. Like, it was real live dope. I felt bad because it was like I didn't get her nothing, and here she was like planning to do something for me after I got off of work. So it was really dope. Like,
You ain't HQ Walker.
I really ain't.
Listen,
You ain't.
I got a story about. I got a story about what my friend did
I ain't the
though.
box though. What?
I can tell y'all about that.
Go ahead.
So,
I did. I mean, I went in there, took a shower.
first of all, this spotlight's making me look like I got a bald spot.
No, you ain't got no ball spot.
Yeah, but that's what the light makes it look like.
You want me? Okay,
I need,
I'll
yeah,
fix it for
I
you.
need to fix that.
Okay,
Because I'm not bald.
I'll fix it for
by
you.
any means.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It look like you a little bald.
Theodore.
But what's your friend's story?
So she
Quote,
did something. Huh?
I said quote unquote.
Okay. No, seriously, it was this year.
Mhm.
So she did something for a friend. I was supposed to help her, but I had to go out of town. And like, she set it up. She had, I think, like 24 balloons all over the house. Had them, I think, a steak dinner or something ready. Rose petals all over the house. What she had? She had some red lingerie. She sent me a picture. I was like, okay. Like, she got it together. He wasn't expecting none of that. Chocolate covered strawberries. Like, I think the best thing is when they don't expect it, because most people, like, it's become so commercialized now towards the women. Guys don't really care about teddy bears, balloons, flowers, none of that stuff. So it's more catered towards the women. So the fact that she did that and he wasn't expecting, I think, is what made it all the more special. Like, she went, there was a couple things I told her to do. I ain't gonna say it on air. But a couple things I told her to do to, you know, bring it on home, you know, have it a home run. But I think she hit that out the park for him.
No, I didn't know.
Was she there with the panties with the hole cut out?
I told her to get the stockings.
Oh, okay.
Told her to get the stockings.
What's
the red fishnet. I ain't telling y'all. I ain't telling y'all.
Easy access.
Easy access.
Told her to get the pantyhose with.
What else you tell her? What else little tips? I mean, you married, so you at the game. So what else you tell her?
No. I ain't
This ain't for you. You gotta tell us what you told her.
I can't tell y'all on there.
Why can't you? We don't know who she is until she comments.
It don't make no difference. It's a little explicit.
Go ahead. Oh, you told her what certain things to do?
Yeah, to get her together. She said, "Oh, I ain't
what?
never did that before."
Where can I do? Can I Google this?
Huh?
Can I Google it?
I'll tell y'all when we go off air.
No, I need to know. Yeah, the people need to know. They need to know what's going on.
The people want to know the trick so they can do it to their men.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't listen.
It's some lady right now who is listening or watching on Facebook thinking of what to do for her husband or her boyfriend today.
Listen, if it's about their boyfriend, I can't tell them. I only can tell them if they're married.
Ain't that bad. some old marriage trick. So let me ask you this. Why is it that females feel like they don't have to do much for guys nowadays? That they expect the guy to get the teddy bears, the chocolate, the roses, the gifts, etc., but the female feels like she ain't got to do much but give up the box.
You know what? I don't know. I guess it just depends on who you deal with. Like, to be honest with you, my husband's just not a real big Valentine's Day person, but I've always been that way. Like, I always get stuff for my kids, you know, whoever. But I'm not like that. Like, I always buy him something for Valentine's Day. Like, I always go, because I feel like it's a love day. It's not, but like I said.
But every day's a love day.
Yeah,
man.
But what I'm saying is,
some old sucker stuff.
It's just, you know what?
Some old sucker stuff. Yeah,
it's just one of them things where it's kind of like every day's Black History. You know what I'm saying? We Black History 365, but we do designate that 1 month to speak about things that, you know what I'm saying?
Specifically
geared towards Black History. Like, I just think that, man, there's so many bitter people.
I'm one of them.
That you're not bitter. You're all about love. You're not bitter.
I am all about love when I get that one to love. But
hey.
Let me ask you, the reason why I say that is because you have so many women nowadays who feel like all they got to do is give a man some or top him off, and that's
it depends on what woman you're dealing with or what girl you're dealing with. Because a woman don't feel like that.
Man,
what woman are you dealing with that feels like all they got to do is give you sex?
Go ahead, Jarvis. What was you about to say?
I mean, it's a bunch of females.
That's all I can say. It's more
like, it's probably more that figure, and it may go back to what you're saying because guys ain't typically the ones to get teddy bears and roses and stuff like that. So typically, what's gonna happen is the guy's gonna get the teddy bears, the roses, and expect to get some of that later on.
Yeah, we're doing all of that stuff. But look, I done went out and bought all this. I know she better get herself right tonight.
Man,
like,
listen,
I ain't cool with that. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Listen, for me, like. My girl sent me a text today, and that text right there would mean more than her getting me any kind of rose, teddy bear, or whatever it may be.
Shout out to G.
Yeah, shout out to G though. But that right there in itself was enough for me. Like that made me feel loved. That made me feel valued and important. I'm really not big into what quote unquote a lot of people say is pagan holidays and stuff like that. I do believe it's kind of all set up. Now, I mean, that's not to say that, I didn't get her a card or nothing like that. But at the same time, like, I'm not going for broke. I'm not fighting nobody in no restaurant to go eat at a restaurant. I'm not about to sit and wait 2 hours to eat or whatever. Man, just show the people that you love them every day. And maybe a little bit extra today.
I mean, I used to be all the way real with you just because, like I said, it's always been a day I really did for my kids and, whoever I was dating. But after I got with my husband, he just wasn't big on Valentine's Day. So eventually it was just like whatever to me. But I looked at the situation like I don't go without. You know what I mean? Every day, 365. My birthday is in, we got Christmas. He goes all out. Then my birthday comes up. He told me the other day, he was like, look, babe, you got Christmas, your birthday, and then there's Valentine's Day. He pretty much said with you, I'm not going for broke just for one special day. When he shows me, I'm talking about 365.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I literally was sitting in class, was it yesterday? And I was just sitting there thinking about, I graduated in December, and I was thinking about how stressed out I was, just trying to get this work done. But I was thinking about how stressed out I would be if I didn't have him there. See, it makes me emotional. If I didn't, like, for real, like, it makes me be so much more appreciative of him because I would not be able to go back to school at 40 and finish if I didn't have him there supporting me. You know what I mean? Whether it's tuition or whether it's him not stressing me about cooking dinner. Like, I'm in school and he's texting me talking about, babe, I might get off, like I won't be able to pick up dinner. You know, which made me feel like, dang, like I really, really love him. I really got somebody that holds me down, not just for one day, but for every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of things that I do nowadays would not be possible if I didn't have him there holding me down. So it got me to the point, not just yesterday, but just period, where I don't stress about Valentine's Day. I'm not sitting there sad-faced or, oh, he didn't give me this, he didn't give me that, because he does it every day of the year. You know what I mean?
A lot of people that don't know, man, shout out to DJ, because he showed out for her 40th.
Shout out to DJ.
He did it big, man. I was down there. He did it big.
That he did.
So I'm gonna get on my soapbox because I have a problem with this, man. Because I do, man. Like it really bothers me. Like Jarvis was saying, a lot more women than you realize think all they gotta do is give a dude some box out, you know, some top.
I mean, we gonna take it.
I mean, we gonna take it, but it's like you just gave me that Monday. Like, how's that any different from today? What's so special?
There's some special tricks she was talking about.
Yeah.
You can do those special tricks tomorrow too.
That's true.
So what's so special? I'm getting you something and making you feel special today that I don't normally ordinary do, like the teddy bears, flowers, weekend getaway, whatever the case may be. And all you do is give me some sex that I can still get on Sunday. Like,
but do you really care about getting something? Like, what would you like?
It's not about getting me something, but like Jarvis said, which is, you know, in his situation, she sent him a text that meant more to him than anything material-wise.
But she texts him every day, I'm sure. It tells him something that she
But
likes.
it was something that came from the heart that was different. What sexually can you do that's different that you're not going to do regularly? What? What? You want to say something? Huh? That's what I'm saying. What? The only thing I can think of is a threesome. What else can you do? You don't. I can't ask Jarvis. I'm asking a woman. What you want to take it up the back?
No. Oh my.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what else different can you do?
Listen, it just depends.
What else different can you do?
It just depends on the person. Like, I remember, I think even last year, like up until this year, I've bought my husband something every single year. Mm-hmm. You know, I gave him a card this year, sitting at home, I gave it to him yet, but I buy him something every single year. But at the end of the day, not that he doesn't appreciate it, but it's just like it's not that big for him. So it's like, why do I go out and do it when he doesn't really care? I mean, he appreciates it, but he don't really care.
Well, y'all is different because y'all have an understanding like, hey, it's not a big deal to us. You know,
but see, it's hard for me to speak on other women because no matter, you know, like I'm married now, but before that, if I was with somebody, Valentine's Day came around, like this is what I did. It wasn't just me expecting like I'm a giver. I'm a natural, like I'm a nurturer. Mm-hmm. So I do that regardless. Heck, I do Valentine's Day for my friends. You know what I'm saying? I'll bake cookies or whatever. Just a day of showing love. It's not just about
get no cookies up in here.
Listen.
You gonna get
some cookies?
I ain't got no cookies. I ain't shit, bro. I ain't had cookies in a minute, bro.
I know. Last time I could have swore I went all out for your birthday one year.
So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here.
Show up for your 40th cookies.
Oh man.
He put his kids before you. I can't believe
that. How you put your kids before my birthday?
How dare I do that, right? Well, Negroes ain't ish, but we're going to take a quick commercial break here on He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9 FM. When we come back, we'll talk to Jarvis, get his thoughts on what's wifey and what is wifey material.
Say that.
See what Aisha talking about?
Yeah, I seen that.
Go on, call in, Aisha.
And go to the sex store together, let them pick something out.
Aisha, go on, call in. Keep walking back to put the phone number.
859-27, is it 72?
721.
See, I knew I had 7.
5690.
Yeah, it's really, you know what, to be honest with you, it's really hard for me to speak on other women and why they don't do that. Like, seriously, I've always been that person. Like, I'm just a natural giver. And it's a day of love for me. So
I know, it's just that there's a lot of women just expect the guy to go all out and she just has to do nothing. Like Jarvis's case, I'm cool with that because that comes from the heart. It's probably something that she probably wanted to tell him for a minute.
And he don't go all out either. So, I mean, she don't, you know, it's kind of, when I say
that's what I'm saying, like they got to understand, like we don't do nothing.
This is what it is.
We value this more than that.
Yeah.
But when you have people who are in maybe a year relationship, a couple of months, or they just not getting together for Valentine's Day, they automatically expect the guy to go all out because they ain't at that stage yet.
But it just depends, and I think a lot of times the dudes go all out too because for people, it says something about him. Like my wedding ring, does this say more about me or does it say more about my husband? When you see this ring, are you thinking, damn, like, are you looking like, damn, he really went in? It's more about him. I feel like sometimes when a guy goes all in and does stuff, not that he doesn't want his woman to have it, but it kind of is a reflection of himself when he does certain things.
See, I don't.
I'm just telling you
but
that.
I'm to the point where I don't even believe in like that. Like, I don't know. To me, like I feel like the wedding ring. Okay, it's a symbolization of you being married. That's it, right? Hell, some people don't even
wear the ring.
Respect it. Some people don't
Oh,
wear it.
hell
Some
no.
people, whatever. So, like to me, man, like, and then that whole conversation, man. I remember I had a conversation with a group of girls I used to work with when I was in Columbus, and these chicks was real live. Like, if he don't spend at least this much, I'm saying no. Like, what?
You talking about on the ring?
Yeah, it was like if you don't spend more than 15,000, I'm like
15,000.
That's what I said. I'm like, man,
But see, my circle of friends, the people that I surround myself with, ain't none of that going on. Like,
15
none
racks?
of us act like that.
Man, I'm saying, man,
That's
if a woman really loved a man, and the man asked her to marry him without a ring, she should say yeah, regardless, and not even feel any type of way that he ain't got no ring.
We'll find out.
Can he afford to get a ring?
It don't matter.
It matters.
It don't matter.
It matters.
Why?
Why get married?
So the ring symbolizes
No,
your
I'm
love?
asking, when you say it doesn't matter, I'm just saying it's a symbolism of you being engaged. I'm not saying he has to spend 15,000. I'm not saying he has to spend 5,000.
But all that stuff was like came about like, you know, in the old days.
Hold on. Now, I'm gonna let y'all keep on going with that because we need to get that on the air. Welcome back to He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9 FM. Man, we had a very hot debate going on between JT, as he's now called, and Chrissy J. The debate was about, should a man, if he proposes, does he have to get a ring or give a ring to the woman? Go ahead and continue with that conversation.
We're about to get Theodore now. You know, we get
Yeah,
Jarvis off air. We get Jarvis off air.
Go ahead, Theodore.
Listen, I'm about to go all in. Like I said off air, if a woman really loved a man and wanted to be married to this man, it should not matter whether the man proposes to this woman with or without a ring. She should not feel any type of way. That ring is not like, if that ring symbolizes your love for somebody, then
What you're saying is it should be more of a gift and not a validation.
exactly.
I don't believe that it symbolizes your love from somebody. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, say I was married to you, Jarvis, or whatever, right? And I go out with my girls and I take my ring off. Are you going to feel some sort of way?
Listen, like,
No, I'm just asking. It's a yes or no question. Are you going to feel some sort of way if when I go out, my ring comes off?
I wish you would.
But why? Like, we're married. It's because it's a symbolism to let other people know I'm taken.
But what he's saying is that the symbolism doesn't have to be as they really are.
guys gonna shoot that shot regardless.
But what he's saying is that it's not the ring itself, but the type of ring that you buy for that woman.
And I don't have no problem with that. I get that. You don't have to spend, whether it's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, like, you just have some women that's their expectations because that's what
10,000.
I said 1,000.
Oh, okay.
No, she said 1,000.
Okay, I was gonna say, dang.
There you go, showing off. Like, I looked at Keisha Kaor today, right? He just upgraded her ring to a 60 carat. I'm not knocking it. It is what it is. But I don't need a 60 carat ring. You know what I mean? Like,
nobody needs it.
But that's my point. But they got it, so they do it. After a while, it becomes so much. You just kind of like,
ring
really?
costs how much?
The one that he bought?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It was flawless.
Man, listen.
They gonna cut her finger off for that.
If I could, like for me, if I could buy a 60 carat ring, I'd rather take that money and donate it and put some kids through college.
Somebody said, Jarvis, you just don't want to spend the bread.
I ain't got the bread anyway. I ain't got it.
So let me ask you this, and for the people watching Facebook Live, comment as well. And Jarvis, you was talking about this. If a man proposes to a woman without a ring, do you think a woman is obligated to say yes, or should she say no until he gets a ring?
Yes. Oh no. If she loves him and she really wants to be with him, then yes, she should say
You
yes.
was about to go through it. I thought you was about to say
No.
nah.
I don't believe that. What I said is earlier, I said, can he afford to get a ring? Is he, like, what is his purpose for not doing it? Is it a belief? Is he just doing it? Like, this is the thing. Like, we all have our certain points in life. You know what I mean? If you really love somebody and you want to be with them and you want to marry them, but you don't have the money to necessarily get it, I get it. You know what I mean?
But it's people that have the money to have extravagant weddings, but go to the courthouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the wedding is a symbolization of something else, just like that ring is. Like I said, man, back in the days, way back in the days, they never had stuff like a wedding ring, right? All that stuff came out to make these corporations and these businesses money. And I'm not saying that it's not a nice gesture. And I think, you know, one, to have a ring on your finger, for some people, it does give them that sentimental value. And if that person, and if that person and that person's significant other feels that way, okay, then I get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what's the difference if you just went and got your finger tatted? It's on your finger.
And it's supposed to be forever.
It's supposed to be forever.
I mean, if that's what they choose to do, I'm not knocking. If that's what you both are on, that's what you agree to. I have no problem with that. Like my husband, I spent a lot of money on his wedding band. He's allergic. Like, he literally cannot wear his ring no longer than 2 or 3 days or his finger breaks. So, I joke with him all the time and tell him he's allergic to being married because he wear all type of other jewelry, you know. But, I mean, seriously, like, I do look at how much money I spent on that ring and then look at the fact that he can't even wear it on a normal basis. But even though he can't, it still makes me happy to see that when he goes to work, I'll notice, oh, he put his ring on today. Because a lot of times he can't wear it, but he'll do it anyway, you know. And I think it's a little bit different for men too, you know, just going out there with the ring on their finger. It does let men are a lot more bold than women are. They don't care. You got a ring on your finger.
Okay, talking about
you know what I'm saying? But sometimes if a woman sees a ring on a man's finger, it's kind of like,
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think women are getting a lot more bolder than dudes are because for women, it seems like they want to be able to say, I got him and he's married, to have that in their back pocket. I've seen a lot of women go after guys who are married versus a guy who's single just because he's married. Now, regardless if it's because she knows his wife or whatever, but she would much rather, it's like a conquered
That's
thing
because
for
they've
her.
made it okay to be a side chick nowadays. They have made it okay. These reality shows and any and everything else has made it okay. A lot of them's like, well, I don't got to deal with the BS that he goes through. And to be honest with you, with the men that's on the shows or people that I know personally, they do more for their side chicks because it's not because I love you. It's more hush money. I'm going to do this for you so you don't say nothing. And I just take care of home and do what I do. Like, I don't know. Like, they've made it cool to be a side chick. You know? I mean, that's just what it is. What you say, Q?
I ain't got no saying.
What you say, Jay?
What, is it cool to be? I ain't never been no side. Well, not that I know of. I might have been a side.
You might have been not even do it. She was doing her thing then.
I tell you what, she wasn't doing nothing for me. She wasn't doing.
She
more
wasn't
for
giving you
me
no hush
than
money.
Yeah, I wasn't getting none of that.
Nah, I've been on that other side of the spectrum. I mean, you know, ain't nothing I ain't proud about. But nah, I mean, I don't know if you would say it's cool, but it's just a lot less stress. I mean, it depends on where you at in your life as well. Because if you in your 20s or something, then you ain't got no problem with being the side dude or the side chick because it's like, I ain't looking for no relationship anyway.
Man, but I'm going to say this, though. Man, I think regardless, like with most people, right, the way most people set up, and a lot of people deny it and, you know, not want to say it's true, but for most people, if you dealing with somebody, I don't care if you the side chick, or if you the side dude, or if you the dude that's doing this, or that, after you deal with somebody, like, you know, whether it's sex, and then talking to this person every day or every now and then, you develop some kind of feelings.
It's natural.
It's natural to develop feelings or to develop a genuine care for that person regardless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see your side chick getting taken down by somebody else, you gonna
I'm sure
trip.
some type of way.
Yeah, and you like, oh, hold on now. I thought that's what this hush money's for.
Nah, you just want a mini, that's all.
Yeah.
You just want a mini. So speaking of, you know, Valentine's Day and sex and all of that, I got a question. Somebody asked me this earlier. Well, actually not asked me this. There was a conversation at work. How long should a session last? Some women say it should last at least an hour long. Some say 20 to 30 is cool with them. Tina, you choose being a woman.
I mean, to me, there is no certain amount of time. I mean, I could get the best out of a good 30 seconds, or I can get the best out of an hour. Just because it's an hour don't mean that it's good, don't mean that there's passion. You could just be going. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times I feel like people just say sex, but where's the passion, you know, in it? Like, I don't think you can put a time frame on it. Everybody's different. I feel like your sex is only as good as your partner's. Does that make sense?
Nah, well, yeah.
I mean,
because sometimes you gotta carry somebody. Like, man, you can't whack. I'm gonna have to step it up a little bit. Get this
I mean, kind of in the sense of if you're going all in, but they not really going in, it kind of brings you back down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So your sex is only gonna be as good as your sexual partner.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna tell you what though. Regardless, that last couple seconds, sex is always great.
That's the best. That's the best it's ever gonna get. For the man, that's the best it's ever go. I don't know what it is like for women, but for men, that last 30 seconds, that last strokes, that could make or break you having a baby or not. It just all depends. But anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9 FM. When we come back, we will finally get Jarvis's thoughts on what is wifey material.
Hey, Rich. Happy Valentine's Day. So, Jarvis, you plan on proposing without a ring?
No.
I am. Okay. I got to get a girlfriend first. I need to cry before I walk.
Man, Q could have been and had a girlfriend.
I could have?
Yeah.
Do I know her?
Huh?
Do I know her?
I mean, you know, you'd be having your little thought moments.
Yeah, that's it. I'm lying.
I would say something.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm lying. Let me chill.
Because I remember. Well, with times you disappeared. Well.
Man, look.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, all right.
I can't say too much, so I'll just say the conversation we was just having, that was geared towards that.
Hold on, man. I just missed everything.
You wasn't on that ship. You wasn't on that ship.
Got people saying, you know, Happy Valentine's Day, Christina.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Johnson.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I know I ain't talking about you, Johnson, but ladies, I mean, y'all can wish me and Jarvis a Happy Valentine's Day. I'm just saying.
Please.
But yeah, that's what that was geared more towards. Even though it's not there no more, on her behalf. But I'm cool on that. I mean, that type of stuff makes you think, if you did that, what makes me think that you ain't gonna do that to me? So that's that type of thing.
I mean, the thing is, when guys go into relationships, and it's still a relationship with a side chick, do they really look at the morals that she has and her character?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's her character. Because if you gonna be okay with being my side chick, how much do you think about yourself? To me.
Well, then, but I don't know. But then you got also this situational, because you got some chicks who are just, in that case, who are married but unhappily married and just don't know how to get out, and don't know how to go through the whole divorce. I don't want to go through the divorce process.
So you would rather cheat on who you with?
Hey, I'm not married, so I don't know.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. So it's better to cheat on who you with because you don't know how to get out of the situation.
So let me ask you this. For women who are being abused, it's not easy for them to leave, but what if you got this guy that you work with, or a guy that you know that's taking care of you, make you feel good, and you go home and get beat on by your husband? Is it okay to cheat? So
what you think he gonna do if he find out you cheating?
Hey, that's on that woman, but what I'm saying is that okay situation to cheat?
No.
So it's okay for her to continuously get beat at home?
It's not okay. She needs to seek help.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's seeking help, but she's
by
scared
having
to
sex
leave.
With somebody else?
Because that's maybe her help.
Q.
I'm just saying.
No.
Every help ain't a counselor.
That might be her safe place.
Every help ain't a pastor.
But what's going to... Okay, so this guy, right? Say he a good guy, right? And he gets caught up in some stuff with her or whatever, right? The situation. Like, and it depends on all what you believe in. I don't feel like God's not going to bless that union or that situation. You know what I mean? It's not making things better for her. All it's doing is making the situation harder. It's put him in a bad situation. That's if you believe. I don't know what you believe, but I'm saying that's if you believe. But God's not going to bless the situation in that union because you're going into it all wrong.
But who's to say that he didn't put that man in her life?
Because God would do that.
But hold on, for her to make that decision to leave that man, but she is being stubborn and refusing what God put in front of her and still staying with that man.
God
because sometimes he might show you something, not at the time you want it, but he's showing you, hey, get away from this situation. I'm putting this in front of you so you can
You
gravitate.
think God's gonna put temptation in front of you when you married? Regardless of what the situation is, you think God's gonna purposely put temptation in front of you?
Yes. Mike, ain't nobody stood you.
Thank you, Mike. Tell him.
Yes.
God don't do that. No. Are you trying to justify your situation?
No, because I'm single, so I don't.
I mean, your past situation.
No, because I'm single, so that's on her to deal with. And if we was to ever get together and somehow, some way get married, then that's a different conversation with a different day, because I would have trust issues.
I just feel like when a woman goes into a situation and she knows, and even if she don't know, if she finds out he got a chick and you still continue to mess with him, what do you expect to get out of that? Or when you get in a situation, what do you expect to get out of it? Like, if you okay, knowing he got a chick and you continuously still sleep with him. Like,
I can't answer that for
no,
as far
I'm
as
just
a
saying,
woman.
like,
Yeah,
what
for a woman.
what do you really expect to come out of that?
Because some women do think that he either likes or loves me more than her, or he's going to actually leave her one day. They actually do believe that.
I believe it.
Until something happens, the girlfriend or the wife finds out, and all hell breaks loose, and then she finds out this nigga really ain't going to leave her. So, but anyway.
I just think that sometimes and I say this, and I mean, not being judgmental, if women had more self-love and loved themselves more and thought more about themselves.
So you think it's more of how to...
I think it's more internally, like...
Y'all ain't. I'm just playing, y'all.
If they love themselves more, why would they want to be hidden? Why would they want to play second to another woman? I don't care what the situation is. And that's about self-love and your character. We all go through it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying years ago...
We say if it's kids involved?
What if it's... I mean, Jarvis, you got a child. That didn't make you stay in a situation that, you know, and it's not trying to be funny, but y'all knew it wasn't right, and you still able to take care of your son and co-parent properly. You're not going to stay in a situation that you truly not unhappy with because of the kids. I've seen situations where kids was like, I wish my parents would have left each other because, you know, we knew they wasn't happy. Yeah. And it was better with them being apart. You know what I mean? So
Audra, I'm going to fight you.
Huh?
I'm telling Audra, I'm going to fight her.
Welcome back to He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9 FM. Thank you for coming back. Jarvis, Theodore Terrell.
Yes.
People want to know, man, what's wifey material? For the women right now who are watching, who are girlfriends, are single, looking to become girlfriends and eventually a wife, what should they be doing? What's wifey material?
In regards to Valentine's Day or just in general?
In general.
Man, I think y'all just need to make y'all man feel safe and secure, really. Like you should be your man's safe place. It's okay for him to go out with his homeboys, go watch a game. It's okay for him to do all that without having to hear your mouth. If you have kids, right, I really believe that you need to find someone, or, you know, be a motherly figure to the kids. So the same exact thing you want from a man, if you got kids, if that man has kids, you have to be accepting and understanding that you coming into a situation where you just not in a relationship with one. You in a relationship with that man and his kids as well. It may take some time for it to get there, but it'll get there. And I think honestly, man, I mean, it really don't even, like, it's really hard to say, man. Like, most people just know when they know. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So what's yours?
Man, I just know I mean, you know, it's a sense of security, man. Like it's hard to explain, man. When you know, you just know. I felt it.
You just felt it?
I felt it, man. Like,
the situation just felt different.
It felt really different, man. Like, you know, from any other relationship I've been in, it felt different. And it's crazy because it's a pretty large or pretty significant age gap between us, with her being younger. But still, it's like the maturity level as far as who she is as a person, her dreams and aspirations, how she goes about raising her child, how she took in my child, and then just the things that she does, not just for me, but for us as a family, all of us. Yeah.
You said you felt it. Are y'all engaged? Did I miss something?
Nah.
Oh. Yeah, because he said I felt it. I just knew I felt it. I'm like,
get some breaking news on
you
He Said, She Said.
Nah, when I said I felt it.
Oh,
no, I'm just
facts. Say no more. Christina, Did you and DJ, since you are the married one of the panel, did y'all have a conversation of what he was looking for? Like when y'all started getting serious, like, hey, I'm looking for a woman that does X, Y, and Z, and it just coincided with who you
we
are?
had that on the first night. We met, like I said, on Facebook probably in June. We didn't physically meet until September. And that night, we literally like ate dinner, laid out in the hammock. Like, I know it seems crazy, but for real, was looking at the stars and just talking about the things we wanted out of life. And we kind of laid it out right then and there, what he wanted, what he didn't want. But I'm kind of with Jarvis, like when you know, you just know. And if anybody's ever watched my wedding video, you know, he even said something that I didn't know, you know, when they speak to you. And he was like, man, I started to fall in love with her the first day we met. You know what I mean? And I feel like he just knew, because at the end of the day, here he is, a 30-year-old man living in California, you know what I'm saying, with any and every choice of when he works in the medical field, you know, so, I mean, you know, single, no kids, whatever. At that time, and then he ends up falling in love with a girl that lives in Kentucky with 3 kids. You know what I mean? Halfway across the world. Like you said, when you know, you just know. There are things I say all the time that I'm kind of with Tasha, like, everybody's definition of what wife material is totally different. You know, you got some men that come in, it's like, I expect my wife to cook every day. I expect this, I expect that, I expect her to be a go-getter. When you got some people, it's like, look, man, you know, this is a partnership. We both do this and we do that. Things aren't traditional in the sense that it used to be.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, and I really think, like, 2 people have to be compatible, like with each other. Like, I mean, like, I know some people who, you know, some men, some of my friends, or some men I know who are just, like they may just be the person who, you know, they may not be as dominant as a male, or it could depend on what their relationship was like with their mother, or something like that. Like if their mother always did these little things for them, they may need a woman that's gonna do those little things, because eventually when he leaves the house, he's looking to fill that void somewhere when his mother's not around. So that could be his sense of security. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Tasha. You know what I'm saying? Everything's specific to each person, and I think that once you find a person that's basically like a puzzle piece that fits. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll know, like you know when you put 2 puzzle pieces together and they don't fit. Like you like, man, this don't fit. I need to try something else. But once it goes together, you pick it up and you look at it, you like, ah, yeah, that fits. Put it together and it fits. And I feel like relationships are kind of just like that way too.
It's got to be deeper than sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say a man, like we went back earlier, say he is with a woman and then he has a side chick and the sex is good, but after a while, if it's just the sex is good and that's all he's getting out of her, eventually that's going to diminish. You know what I mean? And then there she is sitting there looking crazy because that's all it was sex.
I'm still waiting on Tasha to call on in though, man. Tasha,
shout out to Tasha. She had another comment. A woman who is ready to be a wife is a woman who is secure in herself and loves herself. No man can make, convince, or tell a woman how to be a wife. It comes with wisdom and growth.
Facts.
Yeah, she out here giving us,
you know,
giving us knowledge. Call on in, Tasha.
She dropping these bombs from Funkmaster Flex up in this building. But I'm just saying, you know, you two, you're in a serious relationship, and of course you being married. I just wanted to know, like, what certain things is out there as far as wife and material. Just from a woman, do y'all have that conversation on the first date, on the first couple weeks, and then from a man's perspective, how do you know if she's the person to actually start taking it serious versus, you know what, you know, we just dating and that's pretty much it. And you said you just get that feeling, right?
Yeah, but I'm with Christina. Like the first time we met up and actually had a conversation, it was that conversation about, you know, what we wanted in life, all this. I mean, we met up and we talked for, man, I say it was probably like 2 hours. We just met up, had something to drink, and talked for like 2 hours. But I think the biggest thing, and I can say this from like previous relationships, like you have to be careful of that honeymoon phase, or you have to be careful of that person who's just trying to get on your good side, so they gonna tell you things that you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to, like, you have to be able to decipher through all that, and sometimes it's hard because, I mean, you know, people come disguised as someone they really not, and it's, you know, it's hard to really pick through it. But I feel like, and I'm not saying that you should really, I'm not saying it, but I am saying it, that you shouldn't be like testing people. But I feel like you do have to put people through certain tests. You know, and it may not be like a you sitting down at night like, yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna do this, and, you know. But you have to put people in certain situations to see how they gonna react. You know what I'm saying?
Like for instance, some
But
women.
if it's not natural, if you formulate and it's not natural, then like what's the point?
No, I see what I kind of get Jarvis saying, because let's say for instance y'all been dating for a while, and he goes out a lot, and one night you know he says, "Hey, I'm gonna go kick it out with the fellas," and as a woman you think to yourself, "Okay, I'm about to test him." And she'd be like, "Why don't you stay with me tonight?" Just to see how he would respond. That type of test. Is that what you mean? That type. I just want to see what he's gonna do, and how he responds. It lets her know. Oh, okay. So he would much rather go hang with them than just chill and hang out.
But are
with
you
me.
doing it because you really care? Or you just want to see what his reaction gonna be?
Because she really cares.
Does it really bother you that he's going out?
That's what I'm saying.
Then
Because
it's not a test.
Yes, it is, because it's like she wants to see how it's gonna be from her on out. Will he? Because most guys are not at that level to where they'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm not going. I'm gonna hang with my lady tonight." And she really might be wanting to spend time with him, and she said, "Okay, I'm gonna see if he's gonna do this." And she puts that test out there, and if he goes spend time with his fellas, how's that gonna make her feel going forward? Like, dang, how does he feel about me? He'd rather spend time with them than me tonight.
No, I get it, but that's how she truly feels. That's why I'm saying it's not a test. Like, you really want to see. I kind of feel like when you testing somebody, it's kind of like, all right, I could care less which way he answers. I just want to see how he's going to go from here. That's what I mean. But if you truly, genuinely care and you really want him to stay at home, to me, it's not a test. Like, you being real with him, like, babe, I want you to stay home tonight. And if he says no, then that leads you to let you know, like, okay, this is something I want to deal with or I don't want to deal with. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but...
I mean, no, that's true. I mean, yeah, well, kind of the test, like I was saying, is what Q was saying. But also, it could be something like, I mean, for me, it was one of those things where, and it wasn't really like it was a test, but it did occur naturally. But in my head, I knew, like, okay, whatever her response is going to be is going to affect how it is moving forward. So it was like, hey, you know, I mean, it could have been something as simple as, hey, such and such, you know, my son needs to get picked up. And it was like a no question, like, oh, okay, don't worry. Yeah,
Okay,
I can do it later.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it wasn't a hesitation. Like, she knew that that's my son. I love him dearly. If I'm asking you for help, it's something that I really need help with. And it was a no question. Like, oh, okay, that's someone you love. That's your kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm falling in love with him too. Bet, I got you. I'm going to do it. No questions asked. And that type of stuff right there just let me...
No, I get what you're saying, because it's the fact that, like you said, it was no hesitation. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. We go. Like, dang, for real. Like, I knew you. It's sort of like at that point, you know that she's for real about being a family, and she looks at your son as her son as well, and it's not. That's Jarvis's son, so I'll let him take care of that. That's our son, because we're trying to make this family thing work. So I agree with that.
So any women that want to deal with Q Walker, y'all best know you got 3 kids and he does not play. His kids come first.
Yeah, all day long.
Like all day, every day. He's that dad.
Yeah,
so
I'm for real with this dad stuff. I don't play around.
Be for real.
So yeah, any women who's listening and watching it, you know, you want to get close to me, you know, you got to get close to the kids first. But Jarvis, you brought up the age difference, and Tina, I want to know your thoughts on this as well. With us being right around the same age group, is there an age gap that you should stop at as far as dating? Like 10 years, 5 years, 7 years?
Nah, man, like, if you would have asked me that 3-4 years ago, I probably would have said, yeah. But
what is y'all's age gap?
11 years.
11?
I mean, my parents are 10 years apart, so it don't matter to me. So, but then again, back in the days, it was natural for an older guy to date a younger lady. So, but you said it's about 11 years, and you said it kind of...
Yeah, man, I just really feel like this, man. Like, maturity doesn't come with an age. Like, I mean, it can in a sense, but it's crazy. You know, with me working around kids right now, too, it's crazy that you can see, like, even maturity differences in just kids and, like, the education, right? So, and then when you're talking about, you know, an adult and you going and maybe my girl was forced to grow up a little bit more because she had a child at a younger age and stuff like that. But I mean, she's about as mature as it can get, and I mean, yeah, I don't feel like there's no age difference. You know, a lot of people credit it to that. Now, the only thing I think in my head is like, man, I'm gonna be old, and you know, you still gonna be young. Like I say it to her all the time, and you know, I'm joking around, but a little bit of it is a little bit
seriously joking.
But you got the best of both worlds, man. Asian and black, you know, we don't. You know, age
good.
fast, so you
Yeah,
good money.
You always gonna be 25, so it don't matter to you.
Money.
That's why I always wondered, because you know you see a lot of guys with younger girls, so I didn't know if there was like an issue as far as like after a certain age gap, then it's frowned upon and looked at like, come on, bro, like what are you doing?
Now, but I think it's. I mean, like some people take it wrong, right? So, some people look at it as like it's 35, 40-year-old men being predators towards a certain age group, and it ain't that. Like honestly, I didn't know how old my girl was when I first. You know what I'm saying? It was through mutual friends. I seen they was in a picture together on Facebook, so I reached out to the mutual friend who's older than her anyway. So I was thinking, okay, I seen him in a few pictures. In my mind, I probably just generalized and thought, okay, she was around the same age, and didn't find out until maybe like a couple conversations afterwards, like, you know, so, you know, how old are you, da-da-da-da, and then it came up. But by that time, we had already started talking.
You started liking us. So
yeah, you know.
I got you.
But, nah, man, I mean, as long as you're not one of them people, which, in my opinion, that's a pedophile who, I mean, that's like a pedophile type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? If you're like, oh, no, I'm only going to seek out 18,
19,
20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, you a pedophile. You just trying to barely justify, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, if you meet someone out now, you know, 21 is the legal age to go to the club, or no, 18, but 21 to drink, right? Mm-hmm. And some clubs won't let you into your 21 because they sell liquor, but, you know, I mean, it's very common for a 21-year-old to be in a club with a 40-year-old. And that's not to say that they can't, you know, get together and spark off or do whatever. So, I mean, in my opinion, age doesn't really matter. I feel like it is what it is, man. You know, you find someone, as long as they good, man, they compliment you.
Right.
Know, if they your matching puzzle piece, man, go get it.
Go get it. Hey, go get it. I need to go get some. Christina, do you believe there's an age gap? Or do you and your husband have a significant age gap?
It's not significant. It's 2 years. He'll say 3, but it's 2.
It's 3. I'm going with DJ.
Now he'll be 38. He'll be 38 this month.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm 40.
Oh, shout out to DJ. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah,
you got something planned for him?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to be in class until 9 p.m. that day. Same way I was on my birthday.
You remember that advice you gave?
That's all I was going to say. So them tricks you was talking about for married people only?
Mm-hmm.
We got you, DJ. We got you, DJ.
Okay.
DJ, look.
Have you ever dated somebody a lot younger than you?
I have.
Before?
I have. And for men, it's different because they do not mature.
What was the age range?
Nah, see, like
I'm telling you, the guys that I can go by my experience.
Okay.
Let me tell you this, drivers. When you were 23, you think you would have been ready to deal with somebody that was 31, that had kids and had herself together? You just said 3 years ago your mindset was different than what it is today. So at 23, you was nowhere near the man that you are today.
Kind of got you right there, bro.
I mean, I can agree, but that's not to say, like, because in my head, and I know this is wrong, but in my head, all I would be thinking about for that big of a difference for me is like, man. So when she's like 40, I'll be 32.
I just said you just literally told her last week it takes.
Jarvis, Audrey's on your head today,
on
bro.
your head today.
She said you literally just told me last week that it takes longer for men to mature, Jarvis.
I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I don't think every man should be put in that category. I think it's so.
What you're saying is she shouldn't generalize.
She shouldn't generalize every guy.
But as a woman, if I wasn't married, there's no way that I'm dating a guy that's 23, 24, 25. But that's just me. You know what I mean?
Based on what you went through. So what was the age difference when the guys, was it 10 years, 5 that you remember?
No, it's probably the most has been 6.
And that still wasn't like, he was just, like, he was just immature, always like, what was he doing that you can recall?
Just still in that college phase, want to kick it with, you know what I'm saying? Like, not.
Wouldn't set up dates and just want to hang out and just do that.
Just wanted me to take care of him. Because I'm a natural giver. That's just me.
I got you.
You know what I mean? He just wasn't ready for that type of relationship.
I got you.
And it showed. So.
You see, it really depends on the guy.
But listen,
I've never been one to.
You're right. Let me tell you something. Shout out to my best friend Felicia and her husband Vincent, because they've been together since high school.
For real.
And they 10 years married strong. So it just depends on where you at. You know what I mean? Like they literally, when I met Felicia, I think she was 15. I was like, man, who's this dude you dating? I'm like going to some K-State. Like, what's up with that? You know. But through it all, like I said, 10 years married. And you don't find that too often anymore with the younger generation that not only, you know what I'm saying, start dating in high school, but stay married, they 3 kids. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's some Cosby Show stuff.
Yeah, like for real. He's a good guy.
Well, it's just like Tasha was saying.
Shout out to
like,
Vincent.
It's just like Tasha was saying, though. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, when anything gets difficult in a relationship, they want to run, or in a marriage, they want to run. And that's one thing I could say, you know, for Vincent and Felicia. You know, regardless of what they went through, you know what I'm saying, they knew that what they had was bigger than whatever situation that they had. And that's something that I really look up to, you know what I'm saying? Like I look up to my friends, and I ain't never got no problem saying that, you know what I'm saying? I look up to how Vincent, you know, fathers his kids, and you know, how Felicia mothers the kids and stuff like that. And you know,
and they're younger than I am, and I still look up to, you know what I'm saying?
Walker, how he fathers his kids, you know what I'm saying? That stuff right there, and it makes me proud too. And it's like I always say, man, like, you know, like I said last week, I ain't gonna let none of my friends be a know-nothing type of person. So if I knew somebody was not being a father or a mother to their kids, like, I'm gonna say something, and eventually we probably ain't gonna click too much longer, because like if you not gonna take care of your flesh and blood and treat them like anything,
you ain't gonna take care of
how you gonna
you're not gonna nurture this friendship.
How you gonna treat me as a friend if you can't even take care of your kids?
We don't look up to who? Vince.
Man, I look up to Vince. I know Vince a good father. You know what I'm saying? Vince crazy.
Yeah, well, but I get your point as far as like looking up to successful marriages, especially people around your age, because that's what you kind of want to take and mold yourself after. Because why would you want to take advice from somebody who's divorced? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, you want to take advice from somebody who's 10 years in the game, or like you and yourself and DJ, like, who've been married for a while and love each other, and it shows y'all love each other by the things y'all do for each other. And just when y'all was around each other, like at Texas Roadhouse, I think that was my first time ever being around you and DJ.
Probably so.
And y'all wasn't doing anything like extreme or extravagant for each other, but you could just tell that chemistry and that vibe between y'all two, that the love is there and the love is genuine. And it's like, that's what you look for, like how y'all
natural friendship.
Yeah, like y'all just play off each other, like how y'all just talk to each other, and it's just like normal.
Jarvis, you said it, number one, friendship. We friends before anything else. Like, I say it, you know, and I joke, you know what I mean? I do have a lot of female friends, but DJ is truly my best friend.
Have to be.
You know what I mean? In there, I can be myself and not be nobody else.
Yeah,
you know
don't worry
what I mean?
about me getting judged.
Yeah, like, sometimes he might be like, bring it back in. Because I'm so goofy at home, you know what I mean? But he loves me, so I'm good with that. But
flaws and all.
Flaws and all. It ain't too many of them, but you know what I'm saying? The ones that I do get, you know what I mean?
Hey, sneak on it then. Hey,
the ones that I do get. But, I don't know, like, marriage is a beautiful thing, and the problem is, you know, not to go too deep in, the reason, you know, a lot of people say that people don't stay through problems to work it out anymore, because that's what the people used to do back in the day, you know what I mean, because they didn't have as much of options. Now, again, with social media, you feel like, you ain't acting right, I'm just reach out and touch somebody through Facebook,
you
know what I mean?
You ain't got to reach out and touch nobody, because they already in that inbox.
You're right. You know
what I'm saying?
But I will say one thing.
Facts.
Length does not validate how good your marriage is.
You say
length of time. I've known people that's been married for 30 years and they ain't happy, and people like, oh, I'm looking at them, but you don't know what they've been through, because they just stand in it because of X, Y, Z. That does not validate. It'll be 5 years for me and my husband, and we've been married, but 8 years this year. But for me, I feel like that the love I have with him is deeper than maybe somebody that's been married for 20 years. So I think a lot of people try to validate happiness by the amount of time they've been with somebody, and that's not always true. No. You know, it's got to be a mix of both.
I mean, man, I just think like the whole, like, you know, the whole cliche, all of that stuff is cliche, but it's so true, right? Like, what don't kill you make you stronger. Like your boy Davin will say, like, you know what I'm saying, going through situations, it's going to build character.
You about to quote Davin?
Yeah. That's what look, you heard me over like, what?
Yeah. But you know how he always joke like, man, it build character.
Yeah, that's his thing.
You know, but it's true. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying, when you go through situations in your relationship, and when you take that oath, the for better or for worse, if you could really weather through that, man, I think, like, it's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that people should not divorce. right? Like I feel like there's situations where people should, and maybe I'm speaking bias because I'm divorced, but yeah, that for better or for worse, man.
So, man, you got time today? You got time today?
Yeah, I got time.
Okay, we gotta take a quick commercial break. When we come back on He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9 FM, I got some divorce questions for Jarvis real quick.
DJ gonna put on her 3. No, it's 2.
It's 3, DJ. We know what it is, fam.
Hey, we doing a giveaway today?
I mean,
man,
I forgot. I was gonna say I forgot all about it, but still. Let's see. I can't see nobody's comments, man.
I can. Audrey says she gonna bust Jarvis' head wide open to the white meat.
Hey, bust his head open then, girl.
To the white meat. You know, one thing I was talking about today kind of used to egg me at school. Like, I used to send my kids flowers and stuff to school. Then they got to the point where, well, don't do it because some kids' parents, but it's like, why I can't show my love
get penalized
because other parents ain't doing it well. We don't want the other kids to feel bad. It's like, you can't coddle every child because everything ain't always going to be equal in life. I get that from my husband, like, for real, like, everything's not going to be equal. So I shouldn't be penalized for wanting to do something special for my child because their parents aren't doing it for them. Not to say that they're not good parents, but that's just maybe not what they chose to do. So.
Yeah, because I don't like that. That's just, man, the way the world is, man. They feel like every kid has to get something, like.
DJ, stop showing off.
Show off, DJ.
That's a...
Show off, DJ.
You better watch out. DJ know all the secrets.
I can't see the comments, but keep showing off.
Listen, as of today it is, because he'll be 38 next. He always be like, you a cougar. I got me a cougar. Like, boy, ain't number 2 years older than you.
Hey, you got your cougar out there. Scooped him up a cougar. Hey, wait till she get this degree, then you can really be a stay-at-home husband.
That's what he says too.
Hey, look, told you. I already know what the game plan. Let me put her through school, help her get through school. Then I'm gonna sit my ass at home. All right, you ready, Jarvis?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said I ain't see Q pop up or nothing. So I was just
seen him pop up.
Well,
I mean, he ain't even.
So what y'all gonna do about this giveaway?
Welcome back to He Said, She Said on WLXU 93.9.
Why is DJ showing off today?
That was silly. Hey, Jarvis, man, with you being the that's him right there. So we wrap this up real quick with your last 5 minutes. You got the show. How do you know when it is time to move on? Because like you said, Tasha's comments was like, you know, a lot of people don't stick through it. But how do you know when to keep fighting and when to just be like, you know what, it's just time to let this thing go?
No, I think that you gotta. I mean, you just gotta know. You know what I'm saying? When you know, and I mean that's another one of those things. Like, you know, when it's hurting more than just you, especially if you have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for my situation, and I'm not bashing my ex-wife. I'm not saying she was a horrible person or anything. Me and her, we came to the realization that her and I are not compatible. We not, you know, we can't go through this thing in life together and it be normalcy. Right. So naturally, you know, we just did what we did.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you know, if it's affecting your quality of life that bad,
yeah.
and if you try and it's still not working out, then
yeah, that's when you let it go. Yeah, because I've always wondered that, like, you know, when do you keep fighting and when do you just let it go? Like, at what point do you say, okay, we just having a rough spot right now, we need to just work this out, keep going? Or is there a rough spot really, like, telling you, like, no, this is it, like, it needs to end? Like, how do you know when to keep fighting and when to give up?
I mean, for me, I feel like that with anything that you do in life, like, prayer comes into it. You know, at the end of the day, I don't care if it's big or if it's small. And when it's affecting your mental and it's affecting everything else around you and you're just genuinely unhappy, you know what I mean, you guys aren't trying, or that person is not trying to make things better or meet you in the middle, like, you got to be able to walk away. You know, I know a lot of people say, and I was even reading what Tasha said, and I get it, and they say put your partner first, but in real talk, in real life, in certain situations, like, for me, you put God first, you got to take care of yourself. You know, because if you ain't happy, can't nobody else be happy. If I'm not happy, I can't make my husband happy. You know what I mean? If I'm not happy, I can't do for my kids properly and make them happy. You know, so at the end of the day, like I said, it's just kind of that feeling, like you said, that feeling when you know when you're ready to marry that person, that's the person for you. You know when things are over. You got a lot of people that want to stay because of time invested.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You know what I
like
mean?
you've
Like,
been there for so long, so you don't know. Like,
yeah, but you know. But the problem is, people that stay in relationships they knew 7 years ago they should have walked away.
Yeah.
But they stayed anyway. And when they stayed, then that's just more reason for you to say, well, I'd invested another time.
Yeah.
You knew 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago that this person was not the person for you, and you stayed anyway.
Man,
so don't allow time to be the determinant of why you stay with somebody.
Don't let time dictate why you stay. I got you.
But listen, I know people that are staying with their husband or their wife until their kids are 18 and out the house.
So
and that's a miserable way to live.
Yeah.
That's like an agreement.
Yeah, for real.
That is, I mean, man, you can't even be happy, man. That's miserable. I mean, and I get it. Like you trying to sacrifice for your kids, but like we talked on the other week, like, you know, if your kids don't see a healthy relationship, you already messing them up regardless. And I get it, man. Divorce is gonna be hard, right? I mean, but that's something you got to work on. Now, I don't, you know, I'll never recommend divorce to anybody. Like I said last week, man, I just tell people be happy. Like, you know, do what makes you happy, and do what's gonna be best for, you know, your family in the long run.
No, I agree. Well, we're going to wrap this thing on up for Valentine's Day. Hey, pulling out $10 at the pocket. Hey.
Get ready for this giveaway next week.
Giveaway next week. So we thank everybody for tuning in. Jarvis, you want to say something before we get out of here?
Nah, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. If y'all don't mind, man, y'all, they don't want that child support ticket.
Especially if you
Yeah,
got
it's true,
3.
man.
Hey,
That's
boy,
true,
don't
man.
get me started with this child support. We've been here for another 3 hours, bro.
But nah, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. You guys continue to tune in, share, go like the Facebook page, join the group, so we can have some real discussions, man, and talk about some other stuff. Chrissy J.
And I always, as I say, live it like you love it or leave it alone.
Hey,
Chrissy
leave
J.
it alone. Jarvis, we're going to have to get you some kind of tagline, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is your boy Q Walker. It's been very informative today with
Barry.
Theodore. Yeah, Barry. I'm thinking about that booty later. But anyways, we're going to get on up out of here. We want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We out of here.
Yeah.
All right,
You better stop at tape before you say anything crazy.
Yeah, true.
What
What's up?
you doing? You want to stay?